Hey folks, this is Vint with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out 13th Street Crew. This is a game that supports 3 to 7 players. It's for ages 12 and up, and the average play time is 30 to 60 minutes. It's important to stress that what you're looking at here is a prototype copy of the game that came from the game crafter. The game is due to Kickstart in October. I believe the developer had mentioned it was late October 2023. So what you're seeing here may or may not be reflective of the finished product. Now, this is not going to be a full playthrough. This is going to be more of a visual overview of the components and how the game is played, just so you can get an idea of what the game is like. If you want to see more detail or want to read about it, I have a link in the below description that will link you to my written preview that I'm currently working on. So what is this game all about? Well, you take on the role of a low-ranking person inside this criminal organization, and you're trying to earn as much money as you can to prove your worth, as it were, and get promoted. It is a semi-cooperative game because other players will be actively working against you to try and make more money than you, but at the same time, you'll be helping each other to complete jobs. So, when it comes to money, that's what this is all about here. There's green chips and black chips. The black chips are worth 5,000 and the green chips are worth 1,000. Players will be earning this throughout the game, and they're trying to earn over 15,000. Now, there are different identities in this game. There's a hidden role aspect to this. There are two to look at. There's a bunch of these loyal crew cards. That's the most common, and there's one informant. If you happen to be a loyal crew, then all you have to do is get over $15,000. And if multiple loyal crew get over $15,000 at the same time, then you share the victory. However, when you are the informant, you are the only one that's trying to get above 15,000. So if you get above 15,000, you're the only one to do it, you win the game. There's another way to win as the informant, and that involves police action cards over here. If you get the police involved a total of 5 times in your game, you automatically win as the informant. So there's hidden identities there. There's also resources that players will be able to draw from this resource deck. It's just random draw. There's no like array as far as I can tell. But you're just going to draw these cards and keep a hand of cards. There's 4 different resources. There's political capital, intelligence, hardware, and family favors. So those are 4 different resources that are available, and you'll be using these resources to help you complete these jobs over here. Getting back to the whole police action thing, as I mentioned, there are ways for the police to get involved in the jobs that you try to do. Each player will have an all clear card and a police present card. And during a job, those crew members involved in the job can secretly pick one of these and just sort of contribute it to the pile. And then you reveal them one at a time, kind of like in The Resistance. If this card does come up during that reveal, then the job immediately fails. So that's a sign that you've got a traitor in your midst, or you just simply don't want other people in your party to get a lot of money along with you, if someone's ahead, for example. Speaking of jobs, I keep mentioning that. There are 3 different kinds of job types. There's the solo job, which is just for 1 player. There's a small job, which needs a minimum of 2 people. And then there's the big jobs, which require 3 or more people. If you don't have at least 2 for a small job or at least 3 for a large job, then the job immediately fails. Kind of like in the Moonrakers, on your turn, you'll be able to pick certain jobs from the array. You'll look at the array and go, okay, which one do I want to attempt? And which crew members do I want to try and bring with me? Players cannot reveal what kind of resources they have in their hand, but they can go, well, I think I can contribute a lot to that job, or so on. And then you pick and choose who you want, keeping in mind that some person may be the informant. Now, the informant will not always be in the game. It's a random draw, so sometimes the informant will be in the game, sometimes they won't. But still, there may be some strategy as to who you pick and choose, regardless of who says that they can help you the most, that kind of thing. But as far as what these jobs entail, on the very top are the icons that you need from these cards here in order to complete that job. And assuming that the job is completed, it'll tell you what you get. Now, this is a solo job, so only the lead person, which is you, would take $1,000 from the chip bag over here. Other jobs, like this big job here, as you can see, they reward both the lead player, which is actually picking the job and picking their crew, and the crew actually take away some money as well. There's also a mechanic here called assets. Some of these cards on the very bottom have a possible asset that they can gain. And these assets are kind of like an engine building mechanic, kind of like in Splendor. When you gain cards, you gain some kind of permanent resource. In this game, it's somewhat the same way. The lead asset gained is this yellow symbol, which is this resource here. So every turn you can use this in order to just sort of tap it every turn and gain this resource and to help you pay for some of these other jobs. Other kind of assets that you might see all gain money, one green chip on their turn. So some assets do reward the active player who holds it, and other assets reward all players. You'll note that this background is green. That indicates that all players benefit from this asset, whereas this white background here, only the lead player, the one that actually has the job card in front of them from having it completed earlier, gets the reward. Some jobs like this one have no asset at all. They just simply have like a one-time reward that you get should you complete the job. Some of these assets, instead of like gaining a resource or money, you get special abilities that you can enact, which is kind of cool. So the general gameplay flow is on a player's turn, they're going to be able to draw a resource card. They're also going to pick a job from the array, and if they can get a crew together to attempt that job, great. If they can't, they can choose not to do a job and just take an extra resource. Every player actually gets one from the resource deck in that case. But if you happen to go on a job, you assemble your crew, you at one at a time, or the rulebook doesn't specify, but you can contribute the resource cards from your hand in clockwise order in order to complete the job that you've chosen. And if you happen to get all of the symbols that you need, then players get the rewards, which is great. However, before the rewards actually take place, players, like I said, will contribute one of these two cards to the pool. And if this gets drawn, the job is immediately failed. Even if players have contributed everything that they needed for that job, it's possible that if this card comes out, then the job immediately fails and that's it. However, if all cards are the all clear, then that means the job succeeds and players get the reward. So, like I said, this is more of like a prototype first look kind of thing. Here's a quick look at the rulebook. It is roughly, there's no page numbers on here, but if I had to guess, about 10, 12, 14 pages, something like that. It goes into pretty much a lot of detail here, so I had no problem understanding what was going on. So there you go, folks. That was a quick look at 13th Street Crew. Like I said, this game will be coming to Kickstarter in late October of 2023. If you want to learn more about the game, I'll put a link to my written preview in the below description, and once the Kickstarter goes live, I'll include a link to that as well. This is Vince. Thanks for watching. I will catch you all next time. Take care.